Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's David Palmer, the Leo King, and I'm back! I know it's been a long time, literally almost 2 months, but I think it's just the right time to come back. You know, if we look at these last 5-6 weeks, there's been a massive buildup in energy that has been going on. And here we are, the day before Mars comes retrograde, which we call stationary, and ready to come stationary retrograde, where Mars is stopped. Mars doesn't like to be stopped. It's a masculine energy. It's a drive energy. And definitely right now in the world, when you look at your life and you look at the arrangement that's coming this summer or winter, depending on where you're at in the world, the eclipses are coming. This is definitely some fate train time that is coming up. Woo-woo! But you know, going on tour for the last 5 weeks, well actually it was 6 weeks ago, but I was on tour for 5 weeks. I got a lot of insight from meeting lots of great people all around the country, and especially, of course, here in America. And I know this might sound a little separate from astrology, but people are unified. I think that there's this sense in, especially America, that we're divided. Whether you use the political aspect of it, the spiritual aspect of it, of people awake or not awake, there is a beautiful integration of people still on this planet, in this country. And I think that Neptune's crazy media frenzy is really distorting people's perceptions of what's going on in the world. Even in your own life, of course, it can become extremely confusing. But I think it's important to note, as somebody who was on the ground in 20 states in 5 weeks, in every major city pretty much in America, and talking to people on the ground and being and talking to people at campsites all the way to major restaurants or inking deals on Wall Street, literally I can tell you that there is a more unified aspect to humanity in the world. Doesn't matter what side you are politically, of course, but it definitely is more unified than it is projected to be out there. And I want people to know that. I want people to know that spirituality is not about the judgment of who's right and who's wrong. Spirituality is about you being yourself. No matter what faults we have, no matter what insecurities we deal with, no matter what challenges we arise in our conscious understanding of who we are, it's important for us at this moment in our life to realize imperfection is truly perfection. And that no matter what craziness we might feel like we're going through, no matter what intensity, the range of intensity especially that we're feeling, that there is always a common denominator of love. There is always a common denominator of getting through something and finding the beauty on the other side. And I want you to remember that as my experiences changed me over the last 5 weeks. I'll be honest, I'm tired. I'm frustrated in different aspects of my life. I know where you're coming from. I'm there. I'm no different than anybody else, right? Like, we are all in this together. And the whole point of the tour was to, of course, be on the ground and be with people. I think it is so important to be out in the world for the world to happen in your life. And that was something that I gained off the tour. And I can credit David Hauser for saying that. I know we can get caught up in our house, and we can get caught up on our phone, and we can get caught up in our little security zones. And going out in the world is a scary place today, at least we're told it is. But when you go out into the world, and when you seek the world, things happen, things move, things shake. And there's a lot of frustration right now in the universe. I'm going to be honest with you. This is definitely not child's play astrology right now. This is not child's play spiritual evolution right now. This is some real fucking shit. This is some real heavy shit right now in the universe. And coming back to do this, trust me, was not like, I'm excited to be back. I miss the fuck out of you all. But at the same time, like the shit I'm going through in my world, the shit that I'm seeing other people going through in their lives, this is not no bullshit. This is like some heavy fucking shit. And I don't care. I'm going to cuss my ass off. I love to cuss. But, this tour taught me a lot. The people, whether it's from the South, the North, the East, the West, there's a common denominator. People are awake. People are seeing through this reality and the perceptions and the deceptions that are going on, whether it's from political aspects to movies. And we're not even really talking about political stuff, but we're talking about the war of your perception to make you feel like you're in a very dark place, that the world is scary, that people are divided. That's all bullshit. The world's beautiful. One of the greatest highlights I had on my tour was going out and fishing on a lake in Nebraska, or being sick as a dog and learning to have to take care of myself in the middle of a tour and learn to rely on others and ask for help. But some of the really big highlights were, of course, meeting people that have been watching and supporting this channel for a long time and supporting me. And I do this tour every 4 years, and it was way different than the tour 4 years ago, of course, because of the perception that's out there in the world now. And a lot of people are empowered. When I talk to people face to face, when I meet people and shake their hands, or when I talk to everybody as an audience and I ask them questions, how is this new Uranus and Taurus? How are you feeling? People are feeling that they are empowered. But there is a sense deep inside of ourselves where we question whether or not we can manifest or create some very extreme new worlds for ourselves, including the planet that we're on. And I know that's a very hard thing for us to process, because I think the universe is asking all of us to step up our motherfucking game. And it's not easy. Right when you go through the battering of 2012 and 2013 and 2014 and a big highlight on 2015, a little bit of highlight on 2016. 2017 actually was kind of a break for a second. 2018 has definitely been a fucking bam. This is no joke. And it can definitely weigh on us. It can weigh on us hard. There's a lot of things that I've tried to think about. What do I have to say to people from all these experiences, and what's going on with the astrology right now, and more importantly, just what the hell is really going on right now? And I think that the best way to look at this is, in order to rise up, to rise to a higher level, and especially in the spiritual community, it's become rather obsessed with the term of ascension. If you really want to go through ascension, it is not an easy process. It is shedding the skin. It is shedding old parts of yourself. It is shedding unconscious parts of yourself, or even, I like to put it as consciousness that has run out of its sole purpose, to move up to a higher realm of consciousness that is full of new information, that is full of new awareness, that is full of new emotional and mental and spiritual nutrients for us. That's what consciousness is. It's food. It's food for the soul. It's food for understanding how to live your life better, to grow, and to experience more. And it's not an easy time. I mean, I'm going to be real. But I know when I went through all these cities and I met all these people, I am so proud of the people in the world. I do not think that the world is a bad place. I do not think that people are lost. I truly believe when I met each individual person and when I went to the United Astrology Conference, that literally there are so many empowered people out there ready to change this world, ready to make this world a better place. And that's what really this big moment is in our lives. How to make this world a truly better place. I know it's not a fucking easy task, trust me, it's hard. It feels like a puzzle and there are 2 trillion pieces. And how are you going to put them all together? And every challenge we have of our desires and our wants and the direction we want to take in our life, there's so much of us fearing that we're not going to be able to do it or that we're going to lose something. And I think a lot of this is about new confidence in self, new confidence in your soul. And confidence and self-worth, when they're combined, is extremely powerful. But confidence and self-worth, when they're in fragile states, is scary as fuck. Trust me on that one. It's scary. It's like, oh man, I don't know if I could do this. If I do this, what the hell's going to happen? Oh man. And there's stress. Stress. Go look at the skies. Tomorrow when we're back with deep astrology, you'll see. I will show you. I will show you what the fuck's going down. If you think that July and August are going to be easier than June, But on the other side of that is the acceleration to rising to a higher place in your life. But boy, oh boy, it is definitely not a very easy elevator ride. It's interesting. In New York City, I've been there many times in my life, and I was in 2 extremes. And speaking of elevators, so I went to World Trade Center, the new one, right, and I took the 102-story elevator, and it's LED walls, and it's got, visualizations of how the city was built from the bedrock, and they do a timetable, and it's like, kind of like a freaky ride, I'll be honest with you. It's like, oh, I'm 102 stories up, whoa. And then, we did a show in New York in an older building built, I think it was like late 1800s, early 1900s. And, you go in the elevator and it's old, and it's like, am I going to make it up this thing? And then when we were in Chicago, we did an elevator at the old Fine Arts Building in Chicago from 1885. And there's literally a guy who has to operate the elevator. And literally, your life is in his hands. Elevators come in all different sizes. They come in all different ways. There are still elevators that operate in this world to rise to a new level in your life that have fear, and other ones that might look good and might, like the World Trade Center, might be beautiful, but are still scary. Because anytime you're rising up to a new level in your life, you're raising your floors, you're raising your consciousness. It's a little freaky, and that's what Uranus is. And Uranus is in Taurus now. Taurus does not want to be a flying fucking pig, or a flying cow, actually, right? That whole notion of like, yeah, when pigs fly, guess what? That's what Uranus and Taurus is. A bunch of us being like fucking flying cows. Or it kind of reminds me of whenever they take like a orca, like a killer whale, like pour Shamu, and they like pull Shamu out of the fucking pool, and it's just like, that looks really comfortable right now, but they're putting it back into the ocean. So even though it's an uncomfortable rise to a new place, guess what? It's going to a better place. And I think that's what's hard, is we're all right now facing some really deep shit when it comes to, oh my God, like, the universe is asking me to raise to a higher place, and it's got a lot of difficulty, a lot of uncomfort, and I got to like step into myself and demand that I'm going to live a better life and actually show the universe, because the universe is just sitting there, God's just sitting there going, hey, let's see how you handle this one. Let's see if he or she will step up to the motherfucking plate. Literally. And so we can start to feel like, oh, has God got my back or whatever? Why is God putting me through this? God is putting you through this so you can step up. There's no better feeling than you stepping up on your own and fucking hitting a motherfucking home run. There's no better feeling than you stepping up and saying, no, I'm not doing this, I'm doing this. And the backside of that, you owning and seeing that you had the power. God is teaching you to find your power right now. And on this tour, that's what this Fate Train really was about. I mean, we're about to produce the video of all the talks, because in each city, when I was in Denver, we talked about what the future of relationships is going to be like. You want to know what's coming up in relationships? It's fucking gnarly, and it's beautiful at the same time. Extremely beautiful. This crazy relationship shit we've all been going through in our lives will come, not to, of course, a complete end, because with Venus or any Libra, it's not like it ever kind of fully is fixed. Not to put down Libra, it's just a funny joke. But I think at the end of the day, you need to realize, like, there is a much more beautiful energy coming in relationships. But right now, we're in the middle of a fucking topsy-turvy what the fuck in that area. Then, where did we go after Denver? We went to Chicago, where, of course, I was at United Astrology Conference, and that was awesome. There's some amazing astrologers out there. If you guys still haven't watched the videos on my YouTube channel of all the interviews, please go do it. I mean, all the best astrologers in the world, and I got to interview so many different people from so many different areas, everything from human design to, shamanic African astrology. I mean, literally, check it out. Spend the time. These people have some amazing gifts astrologically to share with you that will blow your motherfucking mind. It's on my YouTube. Don't waste your time, seriously. I mean, if you want to know how to kind of navigate life right now better, check those out. We put a lot of love into those. We sat there at our trade booth for 7 days, and we interviewed the best astrologers in the world, and it was hours and hours of work. It was a beautiful conference, though, and to be with all the astrologers around the world, and this was my second one, and it was definitely a good one. And, the establishment and I seem to come together and find a way. I think that right now, outside of just the astrological community, I think that the whole world, we're going to need to find a way to all get fucking along. Like, we just can't, be at odds all the time and say, no, this is the way, or no, that's the way, or da-da-da-da. We got to find a way to, make this a win-win world, a win-win society. The astrology community realized that. The astrology community is ready to be win-win. The astrology community is ready to work together. So that was a beautiful thing, trust me. That was extremely beautiful. But in Chicago, we talked about the future of astrology. And no, not the future of what new chart is out there, but definitely about how you can use astrology to understand some of these more crazy futuristic events that are coming. And some of them are extremely crazy that are coming. Then we went off to New York City after that, where we did the future of business and money. And when it comes to business and when it comes to money, that, of course, I know, yes, Uranus is in Taurus, Saturn's in Capricorn, Saturn and Pluto conjunction, Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto, right? There's a lot coming into Capricorn. So, of course, our government, our business world, our money world is definitely going to be shifting here in a major way. And I talk about that. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the best of all the cities and make it one video. So everybody, it's not like you have to, and if you want, they'll be individual if you want to watch the whole 2-3 hour lectures of each one as an option. But I'm also going to make one that's kind of more of a bite-sized form so you get it all at once. After New York, we went to Washington, D.C., and we talked about the future of government, the world, and how countries are going to be going at it and how alliances are going to be changing. And I think that's going to be one of the weirdest things for people to realize is who you think is in an alliance is not going to be what you think it is. Like, alliances are going to change. The last time Uranus was in Taurus, alliances were all over the place. At one time, America and Japan fucking were at war. It was the build-up to that. Now America and Japan are best friends. You got to realize, whenever Uranus is in Taurus, there's some really weird shit that builds up when it comes to the way that the world redefines land and understanding and property and how countries are going to be friends. Uranus, Taurus, property, value systems shifting, friends with new values that now are in alignment, including in your own life. So trust me, the whole government thing is gnarly. And then after that, we went to Nashville, Tennessee, which Nashville was fucking awesome. That show was just, I'm not saying the other shows didn't have mad love, because it did, but there was something about Nashville and that southern hospitality It was just like, and it was a really cool space where we could really do spiritual dance music, really loud, underground. It was just a really fun experience. And we did about the future of home and family. And not just the home and family of you and your home and family, but the realization that the spiritual community has no home. And what does that mean? And will it be found? Because it's great to call yourself a light worker. It's great to be a light worker. But just like any religion or just like any army, they fight or they preach for a certain place. Light workers are all over the motherfucking place. There's a light worker talking about, I'm channeling Palladians. No, I'm channeling Arcturians. No, I'm doing tarot. I'm doing this. Everybody's all over the fucking place. It's like this team of light is like scattered everywhere. Imagine if it found a way to come together in the light that it could beam. And there's a lot coming up that's going to show that the spiritual community is about to go through some very deep foundation work. Last city we did was Dallas, and that was about the future of the future. And it was pretty much putting all these pieces together, but it was really about, and I don't want to give it all away, but it truly was about realizing that this is a new era, and it is going to require different approaches, different ways to live your life than we have been pre-programmed, whether it's been through the television sets we grew up with, the books that we read, the radio, no matter how old you are, the DNA that has been passed on from all these lineages of our life. There is a massive shift going on in a reality in front of us and approaching it differently from all angles of home and family to relationships to how you deal with your money and self-worth and how you do your businesses, how you deal with using tools like astrology and divination, and more important than that, truly understanding the deepest part of yourself and finding your own way and finding that your own light is your own light. And I'll be honest with you, I don't want to say I'm at war, but I'm at war with just the spiritual dogma of the community. It has become vanilla. It has become, who's wearing the next cool yoga pants and, did you get your smoothie today? It's like, what's different than wearing a Sunday dress and picking up a Bible? I mean, when you start getting into dogma and you start getting into rituals, we're creating these rituals that are creating a whole thing of like what spirituality is, when spirituality has no boundaries, it has no borders, and it truly has zero definitions. And so it's hard because anybody who wants to become, whether you call it spiritual or open their soul up more or be involved with spirituality more, guess what? They have to go face this, oh, but look at how she's doing it, or look at how he's doing it. And it's like, you know what? Fuck them. Not like literally like because you hate them, but fuck their way of doing it. It's you and it's your light and it's your life and it's your soul and it's here to shine its own brightness in its own motherfucking way. And so this spiritual community is about to get some fucking wake-up calls. Because the truth is this ain't no Instagram post of looking all pretty and making it look a certain way because I look spiritual, but you're really a motherfucking dog, bitch, who doesn't even know how or even understand that spirituality has no borders, it has no looks. It is ultimate surrender of true self. Whatever that is. Whatever that is. It's important for people to realize that. And that's what I'm getting. This is way deeper than astrology. Astrology is a tool. Sure. I'm sure you watch me because you fucking love astrology. I fucking love astrology all day long. I can look at that shit 24/7. I look at that shit 24/7. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even look at it. I already know it in my head. It's a natural clock that I'm in rhythm with the planets, just like I'm sure most of you all are. But that's just one part of this. There is a deeper war going on right now. It is perception, it is spirituality and the dark forces trying to make spirituality and turn it into a certain form that will make people have to be a certain way, that will always, and I'm going to repeat this very strong, that will always find a way to make it try and be like something else than you really are, and try and change you a little bit to be a certain way, because when the dark does that, it knows it takes a little bit of your own light away. The second you look at a spiritual person and go, I need to be a little bit more like that motherfucker, you have just given up your motherfucking light. How do you think the dark is doing it? They are putting themselves and cloaking themselves as fucking spiritual. It's not real. It's fucking Oz bullshit. Straight up, Oz bullshit. Don't fall for that shit. You know when someone's being fucking real. You know why? Because when somebody's fucking real, they're telling you how it is, and they fucking encourage you to go be you. You go be you. You go be the best. Sure, you can give advice. Hey, I think maybe it'd be better if you do this or whatever, but I ain't going to judge you if you don't go my way. I ain't going to get all weird at you that you do that. Oh, you didn't have a green juice this morning and you didn't meditate this morning? Oh my gosh. Oh my God, you're having a relationship problem? It's just the deep reflections of yourself. You're fucked up. You have to deal with your own inner shit first and blah, blah. You know what? It's called motherfucking life. It's called life. There is no perfect person. There is no perfect soul. There is no, I am fully enlightened person out there. I am sorry. You want to know what the Antichrist is? The Antichrist is the most fake motherfucker on the planet, who acts like they know it all, that they've got everything, that they're perfect, that they have figured out the way to life. I'll tell you the honest fucking truth. I fucking don't know the fucking way to life. Do you think anybody else does? We all still don't know why the fuck we're here. We all don't know what's going on. There's some crazy shit going on this planet. There's some crazy shit going on in this reality. And at the end of the day, guess what? Nobody knows. The second somebody tries to tell you that they know the whole way and they're channeling everything and they know it all and they know exactly what it is, including whether that's a scientist or an astrologer or anybody, that ain't real. The only real thing that we know in this world is ourself and being ourself and living however that is, and that's what spirituality is, in my opinion. Because spirituality doesn't have a definition. Spirituality doesn't have a fucking yoga pant fucking identity. Spirituality isn't a fucking festival doing drugs. Spirituality, well, it could be that, but I'm just saying, like, it's not a definition of something. It's whatever that you want it to be. I'm not putting down and saying yoga pants are bad. That's part of your spirituality. That's great because you're being you. But it's when people identify that that is the way. Or spirituality isn't just astrology or just astrology. It has to be astrology. You don't know shit if you don't know astrology. Guess what? You could be fucking spiritual as whatever because you're being you and you might not know jack shit about fucking astrology. But you're being you and you're owning your life, and that's what spirituality is. It's about that true connection with self to the divine, and that's it, yo. That's straight it up. That's straight what it is. And that this tour made that clearer than a bell, because I had so many people coming out to me being like, this is wrong in my life, or this isn't going well, and but I look at these people and they're telling me to do this and do that, and I look at their charts and I look at them and I go, dude, you gotta do you. You gotta do you the way you want to. Trust me, there was no other fucking Leo King out there. You know what I mean? I wish there was. It would have been pretty fun competition. I do like competition, but there wasn't any, so I just fucking went out and fucking made that motherfucker. By the way, it was the Leo King's birthday on June 19th, 5 years old. Yeah, the Leo King's only 5 years old. It was so funny, I put that chart up and everybody was like, oh my God, that's your chart? You're really a Gemini? I'm like, oh my God, this is the Leo King's chart. I'm not Leo King, I'm David Lawrence Palmer. It's so funny. After 5 years, people still think, I don't know, that my name's Leo or my name's Leo King, or I don't know. It's just hilarious. But, I might be on a rant tonight. I haven't been live for a long time in my studio. And, at the end of the day, that's what I got from all this. And all the work going forward from here, when we launch High Vibe in the next 2 weeks, where Future Life's going right now with horoscopes, like, this shit is about showing that spirituality is not some dogmatic system or some Instagram something or this something. It is not all that crap. It's not. What gets me the most is how people are using a picture now and putting just something spiritual and acting like they know the whole fucking story for you. But they won't communicate with you and be real. This is an extreme time for massive facades. This is an extreme time, and we're going to talk about it tomorrow, about extreme pattern breaking. On a lighter note, we didn't die on the tour. Everything went to plan. 7,800 miles. Lots of diesel fuel used. Awesome cities, awesome experiences, awesome people. And I have to thank my team, because the people who support me here went through a lot of shit to make all that happen. And the people who are part of this, who make this happen even right now, go a long way to make this happen. And so I have to thank them from the bottom of my heart, because, this shit is not easy. And I also have to thank everybody who showed up, because it was funny. I'd be in a city, I'd be like, oh yeah, so you're from Chicago? No, I'm from Wisconsin. Or, no, we drove all the way from, Nebraska. Or we were in Tennessee, and I'm like, oh yeah, you're from Nashville? No, we're from Florida. We flew here. Where are you from? North Carolina. Every state, every city we were in, people came from other states, other places. And I have to thank you from the bottom of my heart. It blows my mind. It humbles me so much. Makes me want to cry. That people come that far to come hang out. And the reason why I do these tours is to show you that spirituality is not about being a certain way. It's just about being real. I hung out. I smoked cigarettes with people. I was like, come on, what up? Let's hang out. It's real. Why do you think the whole spiritual community has trouble gaining followers, if you want to even call it that? It's because most of them are the most fake motherfuckers on the planet trying to be somebody they're not. Or they were really lost and got into it. And they're still, it's like, it's about being real. Real. And under all this stress that we're all under astrologically and in the universe right now and ascending through some craziness, guess what? Be you. Go back to just being you. Go back to what feels like you. Don't judge yourself. Don't judge yourself on what actions you have to take to be you. These are the north and south nodes in Leo and Aquarius, with Mars and Venus right now in opposition in these places. This is about you being you. Only you know you. Why do you think Jupiter's in Scorpio? You got Uranus and Taurus. This is a fixed cross. This is dealing with the meat and potatoes of your soul. Be you, whatever that is. If you're a fucking creepy ass fucking reptilian that's going to go bite somebody's fucking leg off, I guess go do that shit. I don't know. Be you. We'll be back tomorrow for Deep Astrology. I just wanted to say, yo, what's up? Let off some steam, because there was a lot of steam, 5 weeks of stress. Lots of shit going down in my life too right now. Extreme amount of shit. But you know what? No matter how much shit goes down, if you show up every day and you fucking go, and you don't back away and you step into the world, you'll be fucking great. The universe is always ready for you if you step up to the plate, if you step up into the world and you're part of it. Don't sit in your house anymore. This is Capricorn time. Out in the world, doing things. It's scary as fuck, I know. But just sitting in your house and waiting for enough money, or enough this, or enough that, or when my work reaches this space in my life, or my relationship's fixed in this way, then I'll get out into the world. Guess what? You're missing out on the whole motherfucking world to work for you. On that note, I'm out. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Or if you're on futurelife.tv or the app, I'll see you guys in the morning. Late.